Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's all about what is happening in our polity in Edo State. It's like Edo State just keeps resurfacing when we talk about political tension. When you take a look at Nigeria as a country, so many things are like happening, and you get to see massive protests. When I mean protest, it was there in the House, proclamation this, proclamation that. That is still very much on, where the court have already ruled on that. And now you get to see passing vote of no confidence on leaders. You get to see factions emerging from local government, from words. And of course, the latest is what really happened in Ikpoba-Okha, a local government, where you get to see two factions, one backed up by this administration, the other also backed up by, aggrieved party members, everyone raising valid points. I mean, every faction raising valid points. The big question now is this going to have a kind of a massive impact, whether positive or negative, depends on the sort of divide you belong to, when the governorship election will come forward next year. With me here in the studio to do justice to this talk, I have at my extreme left, Stanley Osaze. Stan, welcome to the show. He is a vibrant youth political analyst, public affairs commentator. Stan, welcome.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
Anybody close to Stanley is a legal practitioner, Barrister Matthew Degase. Barrister, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Wilson.
And we have Samuel Ehigiato, a.k.a. Aras. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Wilson.
Somebody close to me is a human rights activist, Ultimate Equal. Join me to welcome Chief Patrick Eholo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
All right. Here we are. We've seen factions emanating, but this is not the first time we are seeing factions coming down from political parties. But this time around, it seems to be alike is coming on a different platform. Disaffection here and there. And probably like saying that there is no smoke without fire. This may just be a tsunami that will engulf APC as a political party in Edo State. What are your thoughts and views on this, Patrick?
Well, I have very little to say. I'm not an APC member, so it's really will be unfair for me to say what I don't know. But I think the one thing is clear is that it's not about people. If they have people interest, the fight will not be going on, because the APC, as we speak today, they are the ruling party in the state. So if there's any disinfection or some issues with them, I think they can resolve it on their own if it's about the people. I honestly think that this is not about the people. Some of us are aggrieved because some are low to the treasury and some are unable to pay their children's school fees. And that's why there are issues with them. And hopefully they can resolve this on time, and they don't. If the other political party, PDP, or what have you, wake up, they will take the state clean. That's my opinion.
All right, I'll come back to you. Now, Samuel Higato, you are a stakeholder in APC. This should be troubling for you.
Well, Wilson, I don't think it's a trouble. Why I said it is not a trouble, because first and foremost, all these things happening is happening for individual purposes and individual interests. First and foremost, if you look at the issue of the House of Assembly, it is an internal issue. It's also an all-round APC issue. One way or the other, they will got to solve it, because one side wants to be on top, one side wants to be on the other side. Like the issue of Ikpoba-Okha, from my observation so far, it is just a little brewing crisis to shake the leadership a little bit, to kind of make the leadership to come back to people's politics. I do understand, because if you look at their slogan, they're crying out they don't need a one-man leadership. I do understand, single-handedly handling everything, holding up the local government meetings in his own personal house instead of the secretariat, etc., which is kind of like the leader is driven a little bit far away from the people. Because these same people were the same people that made us Barrister Saradin Ogie, as the leader of Ikpoba-Okha. They all worked together. Which to document all of them, they all did the same thing to make sure APC is what it is in Ikpoba-Okha today. So if some few of these same people are now deciding to say, no, we're tired of this leadership system, I think it is a wake-up call for the leaders to come up as, okay, let's come together. What do you really want? How do we really get back to where we go? What you want, which is the people's politics. That is getting close to the people, making the people feel part of the politics. Because if you're a politician and you cannot be able to impact when your party is ruling, it is like you sideline, because you have a lot of vast of knowledge, you have a lot of vast of force, energy in you, you wish to express. But by the time you have be able to put somebody there, and then those vast of knowledge and emphasis and influences are being kind of back off, definitely you must feel a revolution. Because on the aspect of Saradin Ogie, so my own personal encounter with him, at the beginning he did very well. He was able to bring the youth into the system in his own little way, you understand? But if peradventure the majority of the people are not crying, then I think it's a wake-up call for him to go back to the drawing table. It is not a matter of the government to take a side. That is where we always have these issues, you know. Most especially when such crisis brews up, you start seeing some people taking sides. As a leader, as a governor, when you experience such an issue coming up, I expect him calling this side and call this side together. You bring them at a round table. If you're taking the side to one side and calling those people dogs, or whatever, the pigs, as I said, where you call them pigs, those same people, they made you what you are. So that means you are the bigger pig.
Oh, hold on now.
Yeah.
Hold on now.
No, it's a parable.
Samuel,
it's a parable. I
Samuel, you have to watch
when
your
you call
comments.
somebody a pig, you say these people are pigs. So listen to me very clearly. If you say these people are pigs, I didn't call a name here. If you say these people are pigs, and these same pigs makes you what you are, then what do you call that person that they made?
All right, I'll come back to
I'll
you,
leave it
Samuel.
at that point.
I'll come back to you, Samuel. But please,
Thank you very
gentlemen,
much.
watch your emotions.
Yeah.
Don't say
I don't-
anything that will cast aspersion on persons or
It's not personal.
personalities. All right, now
It's not
let me
personal.
come to Barrister Matthew. Barrister Matthew, I know you are a legal practitioner, but you have this knack for politics. You like to know what is happening in the polity from your own assessment, from your own angle. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I'll start by saying everybody living in the human society is a politician. That posturing that I'm not a politician is not realistic. It's not a realistic claim. Because politics determines your entire life, whether religious life, whether your economic, social, education, health. So if that is what politics means, then you, as a matter of necessity, you are a politician, so long you are alive in a society. So that is said. For the Ikpoba-Okha, is said, the faction that is emerging there in the ruling party of Progressive Congress is just a manifestation of the polarization of the political party along the ongoing issue in the states that has to do with the emergence of the House of Assembly leadership and the 2020 permutation. So any other way to look at it is hypocrisy. The truth is that people are aligning along those polarized agenda. Those who are for the governor coming 2020 and those who have other intentions as opposed to that agenda. They are drawing the battle line. So it's just permeating to the roots from the top bottom. This problem is coming from the top and it's coming down to the bottom. And Ikpoba-Okha happens to be one of the roots as a local government that holds the stem that produced the APC tree. Just like every other local government, they are the component units of the party that made it the political party in the state. Saradin Ogie is not just there now. It's not a newcomer in APC. His political influence is not just starting now. The operation of political office by him is not just coming up now. So when you are trying to link a problem, and the same time detaching it, you have a problem assembling it. So I think if my co-director said it's overbearing, people are not happy with it, I think.
I said it's drifting from the people.
Okay, you said it's distant from the people.
Maybe I think it's kind of distracting, driven from the people, away, a little bit distancing from the people.
That's a narrative. It's a narrative.
Yeah. It used to be the people's mind.
Cut out or carved out to suit the larger debates. Because you must look for a name to give to a dog before you can hang it. Otherwise, they say, why did you kill an innocent dog? You can say it has rabies, it has this, it barks too much. But that dog is not a mean dog in the compound. You must find a name to hang a dog, a bad name. I don't think the issue is about his being overbearing, the terrible. No, it's just straight points. You link it to the larger issue. Oge's with the governor. Those who are opposed to his influence there at that local government level, where it happened to come from, are anti that agenda. It's as simple as that. So every other narrative is just trying to beguile the people. Like the Roman mob, people will listen to your speech. And if they find it, they buy into it, they key into it, and you are able to whip up their sentiment and emotions. But strictly speaking, as a man who will always say the way it is that I am, it's not about Ikpoba-Okha at all. The issue at Ikpoba-Okha is not Ikpoba-Okha based. It's coming from outside the local government.
From outside the local government?
Yes, yes.
All right. Stan, over to you.
Thank you very much. I want to make some corrections here. I am from Ikpoba-Okha local government specifically. And let's be sincere to ourselves. We have never seen any form of leadership in Ikpoba-Okha compared to the leadership that we have under the tutelage of Barrister Osawati Oke. Let's be sincere. The truth of the matter, before the emergence of Barrister Osawati Oke, there have been leadership in Ikpoba-Okha local government.
Yeah.
When you want to nominate a commissioner that will represent Ikpoba-Okha local government, you see people from Oredo representing Ikpoba-Okha. There are no indigenous personality from Ikpoba-Okha that will represent Ikpoba-Okha in the previous dispensation before the emergence of Barrister Osawati Oke. As we speak, those who are fighting Ogechi now, every one of them benefited immensely from his magnanimity and his ability to lead. Let's tell ourselves the simple truth. I am not here to embellish it, but I'm here to tell us, speak the simple truth. One other thing we should understand about Oge is this. Since I have been seeing secretary to the state government, I have never seen a secretary to the state government that have no key in his door. As we speak, you know him, you don't know him. If you want to see him today in government house, for as long as he is in that office, nobody can restrict you. You go there directly. The idea of saying Oge's turned his own house to the meeting ground, we must understand something. There's a difference between privacy and public residence. We should be thanking Oge for opening his door. Do you know that the gates to Oge's house have no padlock? This is not an embellishment. If you think I am lying, go and verify. Nobody stops you when you want to get into Oge's compound. That is even enough to create insecurity to the young man. But the truth of the matter is that door is open 24 hours for everybody to come in. We have our various ward secretariats. We have our party secretariats. Meetings hosted almost on a daily basis whenever the meeting is expedient. But if peradventure you have a leader that can open his door for you to come in and people are trooping in, trooping out, you are not saying that they are only meeting his house. No! These are people who wants to see you. One other thing about Oge, you know him.
I know him very well.
You know him very well.
I know him very well.
Oge is a man that will never prevent you from talking.
No.
Oge is a man that will never listen to any side or except you depict the actual nature of what they said about you before you can draw conclusion. Oge cannot say, hey, you said this, you said no. Even if you go and lie against somebody to Oge, you say, okay, no problem, we'll talk. He will never call the other person. He will be watching. Oge will listen to you to hear your views without restriction. Let's tell ourselves the simple truth. The leadership that we have in Ikpoba-Okha right now under the tutelage of Barrister Osawati Oke is well organized in a way and manner that no matter how influential you are, it is all about first confessor. I know others will agree with me on this. Okay, we will not say, oh, this call came from Mr. So-and-so, go and put this man and no label. Everything gets to every party faithful in line with your label. There is no way, even in the Bible, stated categorically clear. No food for a lazy man. You must work. You must deliver the party. You must do everything before you can call yourself a bona fide member, and as well you have the right to benefit immensely from anything that is accruing to party faithful. Now let's tell ourselves the reason why these challenges are on ground. Believe you me, being a governor, ability to govern depends on two segments. One, organizing the economic administration. Two, managing the people around you. The problem that we are having right now is the inability for the sitting governor to manage the people. That's why we are having this problem. So trying to drag in by Barrister Oji, claiming Ikpoba-Okha is not true.
It's a scapegoat.
Barrister Oji on his own, believe you me, is a man that have been able to manage this local government. And I challenge anybody.
All right.
Excuse me, let me submit. I challenge anybody. I am stating this in the national media such as this, at times international media. Identify, go and check those fighting Ogi. They have indirectly or directly benefited from his leadership.
I'll come back to you. So, from what Barrister Matthew said and what you said at the beginning of your opening, you talked about personal interest and external forces were alluded to be responsible for this fragmentation of APC in Edo State. You are so relaxed. It's like it's not your business, so to speak. Ultimate equal. I mean,
you know, there are issues that bother me. The issue that bother me is not about Ikpoba-Okha. The issue that bother me is about our lawmakers who have not been duly sworn in. They were voted for. They represent the interests of people. This is an internal issue between party members, which of course I know they will resolve in no time. So I'm not qualified enough. That's why, you know, it'll be quiet, and I cannot cast any aspersion on anybody because I don't know what is happening with them. What I do know is that some people are looting and some people cannot pay their children's school fees. So that's obviously clear. So if one person is just, you know, looting, getting, I mean, those other ones who are not able to pay their children's school fees, they'll be bereaved, and there's going to be an issue. I think what they should do is come back together. Like my brother rightly says, Stanley, that, you know, being a technocrat is very good, you know. Our governor, yes, of course, a technocrat, yes, we can see governor. But again, you know, if you have the greatest dream and you are unable to manage people, you die with your dreams. I think the governor has not been able to manage people. It's what we call human resources. You know, human resources is very great, and I think Barrister will agree with me on this, that if there are anything that a governor had failed to do as of today, is about managing the people, you know. And also there's a lot of egocentric about our governor, you know. You see, when you think people are not important, automatically you, I also say again, you are not also important. Because in order to be important in life, you must make people feel the same way. And I think that the governor has really undermined his people in a lot of ways. People voted for him. You know, the idea of saying you have leaders who are only depending on political party to live, I think is wrong. I think even when you go to America today, as you speak, Donald Trump still need the white wing to win an election. You see, in politics, you have the good, the bad, the ugly. And if it wasn't for the good, the bad, and the ugly, I think he wouldn't have been a governor. And now for him to exclude a lot of these party members who are aggrieved today, I think is morally not justifiable. So that's what I said. I am not qualified enough to go into the affairs of APC. But one thing again I can say, you know, is that when you talk about management, I think Barrister Oji was born to do that. I mean, over the years we've been friends. I've known him almost my life. We've worked together in various areas. When it comes to the ability to manage people, I will give 100% to Barrister Oji, irrespective of any other thing. In every situation, we have what they call advantage or disadvantage. You cannot be perfect, you know, as a human being. He has the side of him that's his imperfection. Perhaps he's quiet, perhaps he's somebody, you cannot really understand in depth, because he can look at your face and let you talk for the whole day. He can look at your face and make his own opinion about you. Well, I honestly think that the governor had to step in. And again, I also honestly think that the PDP should wake up. This is the time the PDP can claim the state, because everything is under the interest of APC. You have a lot of scandals. We have roads today that have been done by expatriates, that the road have been washed away. I mean, I have an estate in Limit Road. If you go to Limit Road today, the road that did it about a few months ago is washed away. Our father just did his birthday. The road where they have what they call a measure to fix the road before his birthday, the road is washed away. So if you say that you are getting people from outside our state who are more better than us, who you trust to do the job, I think by now the governor should be disappointed that every road is already washed away already. You know, and I also want to appeal to people who have refused to be part of the House of Assembly, remind them that people voted for them, that I'm counting as a citizen of this state, that if it's 100 days and you guys refuse to be sworn in, I'll have no choice. Those of you who are my friends, I'm taking you to court. I will sue all of you and you will lose your seats.
Wow, you just went to another dimension, but obviously I'll come back to you. Now, external forces, management of people. Do you think the executive of APC in Ikpoba-Okha managed personalities and people very well? If yes, how come we are seeing this fraction? Because it must be very well. I don't think anyone would be like leaving your group or your camp, so to speak, dissatisfied.
Listen, as we have heard from our colleagues and brothers, you know, from my leader, definitely that we know that the issue in Ikpoba-Okha is indirectly also with the issue of the governor. There's no blind man that will say he doesn't know about that. It is a kind of classifying, kind of sharing the power, you know, kind of putting a kind of a force against the governor. And the only way you can put those pressures, you got to go through some leaders. Because what hits Osarodion hits the governor. What hits the governor hits Osarodion. So like what you're saying right there in Ikpoba-Okha, I will still say it is a little mismanagement issue. Because I know the present leader there. I've met him one or twice, severally, in different occasions and situations. I've even been to his house, you know. He used to be a man of the people. You
could use the word used to. Why? When you are the man of the people.
Why I said he used to be the man of the people. Before you see something brewing up like this, there must be something that we, probably from the outside, are not seeing. That the Ikpoba-Okha people are seeing. Because these people that are protesting, these people that are creating these issues on ground, which will not just underrate them, they are politicians. They are also voters. They have their voice to say. They are also very, very much. So don't underrate them and maybe think that because some of them are touts, because some are tapped, but not all are tapped. If you look at the representative, then you see that some are very leaders with them too. Do you understand? So if in such a situation is going on, I keep saying one problem we have in this present administration is the administration of being able to carry the party members and the party followers along in this government. It is a big problem. Because if during Shomole, we used to know how it happens. Before a crisis brews up somewhere, he calls them to the government house. He calls this side and calls this side. Maybe they might stay there the whole day till midnight. We leave them maybe in the midnight. When we were having fractions issues in World War II, I remember then in Oredo. He called all the both fractions together. We were there with me on meeting till midnight. Before the issue was able to resolve, he now said, okay, go back and be in one Saturday meeting in one place. Not in two different places. And we really agreed to it. And we went to Saturday meeting together. Because he was able to make us understand there's no reason for us to be on one side and this side be on the other side. But at this present administration, crisis will brew up. The governor takes side to a particular side. He does not come on the open mind to say, let me call those people together and know what is happening. You understand me? Like the issue going on right now in Ikpoba-Okha, it is going up to about 2 weeks or 3 weeks now. It's getting escalated. Now more leaders are not being involved. You understand me? Before it becomes something else, what takes him and say, okay, now SSG, call your people. My leader, Ekato, Osabo, call your people. Those who knows that have the listening ears to these issues. And you bring them together. Maybe by the time you speak with them, you feel their understanding of their condition, just like my learned brother said. Some cannot pay their school fees right now because there are so many issues on ground.
So it's all about the school fees issue.
Listen to me, it's not just money issue. Like before, listen to me. There used to be things like boards. Let me come back. There used to be things like boards. And these boards were opportunities for the party members to be able to be a part of the governance. And also they end their little emphasis from it too. Living from it. You understand me? So these boards, they have duties they do. They not just earn the money for free. So if they earn money there to pay their school fees and they earn money there to be able to carry their lives and their followers along, it is not something done for free. They work for it. They have worked before the election, they have worked during the election, and through the board, they are imparting the government. So you cannot say it's a free money. There are many things people are missing. They're supposed to be able to carry a lot of people along. This government should think about those things. Nobody say, come and give me 1,000 naira for free. Nobody say, come and give me 50,000 naira for free. They are saying empowerment. If we look at it, the statement made by the predecessor, he said, when I was giving the contracts to the EDO indigenous firms, he has a reason, so that the capital finance of those contracts remain in the circulation of Edo State. And when it's remaining in the circulation of Edo State, it will reduce the poverty in Edo State indirectly. But the situation we have right now, that the capital contracts are being expatriated to other states, and only the little that they use in Baizioko, the little rice from north, is what is left with us, and it leads to poverty among the people. I'm telling you the simple truth. We should think, and the big mistake we are still making with that, when the indigenous company were doing it, this came contract, or Shomila made sure that we are giving standard contracts. But as at present, you are telling us that these Lagosians, these Delta firms are very, very good, they are the best. They don't ask for money. But look at the jobs they are doing. All right, go to Hackman, go to Back Stadium.
I'll come back to you.
Of course. Go to they are not even to a month, a year. Some are not a year. They are all pony already. All right. So what is it doing? You are still sitting there and you cannot still play the bull by the horn and say this job people are doing is wrong. So that the poor people believe that really it is not with your doings. It is not out of your personal interest that these roles are being done in a substandard ground. All right, there are other things people are crying over.
I will come back to you, Samuel, because this is beginning to unravel so many things. Now, from what they've all said, can one deduce that the executive of Ikpoba-Okha, they are just there in the middle of a crossfire between two great powers? Barrister Matthew.
Come again?
Can one deduce that from what is happening right now in Ikpoba-Okha, the executive of the Ikpoba-Okha local government of the APC, they are in the middle of a crossfire?
When you say they are the middle or they are the fringes, it depends on the perspective you want to assess the situation that is unfolding there. I've given a general overview that if you are attacking the place where the various streams empty the tributary, you cannot clean water from the end. You can clean it from the source. Ikpoba-Okha something is being emptied into Ikpoba-Okha. It's flowing from somewhere. It can't be pure there when it is not pure at the source. So whatever you see in Ikpoba-Okha is just an extension of what's happening at the state level. I've told you that. Now, executive is just a pawn in the chess game, political chess game that is going on. And now coming to, I told you before, if you want to hang a dog, you look for a bandit to place on it, a tag. I've heard so much fused about indigenous contractors are not being patronized. Like he said just now, during Oshomole, it wasn't so. I think we don't have short memory in this state. During Oshomole, I don't know of the name of the contractor that handled the Waterstone project. I am not sure it's an indigenous contractor. It was an indigenous contractor.
Major contracts were also given out to those specialists. It's normal.
Let me finish. I am not also aware that high-tech company that Oshomole used extensively during his tenure was owned by any Edo indigene, or even a Niger Delta indigene.
Captuosa.
That was, those are the firms who are from Lagos.
Captuosa is not from Lagos.
Traceable to even Jagaban, Tinubu.
Captuosa and Jagaban.
So when you are now saying there is a paradigm shift, I disagree. Assuming this government is not giving to local contractors, Oshomole did not even equally give to local contractors. That was the attention then. Oshomole is indulging capital flights. That was a major accusation against Oshomole.
That's a lie.
No, don't say
No, do not interject, Sam. Let him land. He has the floor right now. He owns the floor. You can react to his comments later.
I'm not a diaspora Nigerian. I'm based there. I'm a critical stakeholder. We have intelligent reports on everything that's going on here. So nobody would think that because you are in government house and we're outside the house, we don't know what's going on there. We know, we do know. Obaseki, I don't know the contractor that handling the projects around. If projects are not up to standard, you have avenue as a citizen of the state to ventilate our grievance. We want to see those contractors held accountable, filed by the people. Petition can fly. When Oshomole built a substandard hospital and it collapsed over the contractor's head, who was an Italian contractor, like I said before, those were not indigenous people. An Italian contractor died right on site when his nonsense were building collapsed on his head. Those were issues that people raised then. People raised the issue that this thing is structurally sick. Why are people not saying that?
And it was all did it too. Okay,
We all did it now.
So
We all did it.
So that should,
we went to the street.
that can still be done now. I do not subscribe to any contractor coming here to do a shortage job, whether local or external, because the benefit of that contract is derivable by all of us. We will benefit from it. So if the construction that is not useful, we are not going to benefit from it as people. So I expect those who are quarreling with the standard to do the needful. Do a petition to the even to the governor. Petition the contractor to the governor, prompting him to act. The governor has the right to revoke the contract, demand for refund, and all of that. So we cannot politicize that by saying because of that, the governor has done this. That. No, there is an avenue, an agreeable democratic way to protest. Fashionalization of the party is not a direct response to bad job done by contractors. Nothing to do with contracts. It's purely political interest. And people dancing around the issue to say because of XYZ, they should come to the actual reason. Actual reason and the issue that they are dancing around is 2020 politics of who will be the next governor of the state. And again, you're talking about people are not being patronized, party members are not patronized. Let me tell you, the basic problem that is afflicting our democratic growth is that, what do you call it, entitlement culture, entitlement mentality. Go down to the party. You will discover that those who are complaining, who always complain, are professional beneficiaries, perpetual beneficiaries. They are not even ready to make way for fresh people to also be patronized. So if you want to democratize patronage, you have a good case. But when you want to personalize patronage, you have a bad case. Because we spoke about board appointments. I tell you, I know people have been taking those board appointments even before I was born, and they are still warming up to take it up. They're not going to give it to allow their children, their biological children, to step into that thing. You are not born to forever benefit from a situation. Because before you were born, people were there. And those people did not all die before you step in. Some of them voluntarily step aside so that it will also go around. And I tell you, if they build those appointments, you're talking about appointment patronage. They just made the former House of Rep member, former 8-year deputy governor, member of the board. I do not think this young man seated here is not qualified to be there. If we're talking about his patronage, I do not also believe that this young man cannot do that job. Nobody attends school of board chairmanship and qualification. There is no qualification for it. No written exam. So if those people who have been benefiting for close to 20-something years are saying because they are not getting benefit now directly, then the roof must collapse over everybody's head. Why are they not making case for other people who have been following them from behind to benefit? Okay. Why are they not seeing that opportunity?
All right, but it's like you
want to really talk of patronage.
You just hang on now. I know Stanley wants to react. Hasn't gotten to your turn yet.
Why
now, Stanley, it's like you want to react to some of the comment made by your co-panelist. Go ahead.
If you look at the Bible critically, those who are Christians, and even in Quran, well, let me use the Bible because that is what I believe in. You will not plant and someone else have occupancy. You will not build and someone else inhabit. That is to say, you must certainly eat the fruit of your labor. Why do we have political party? Political party is an organization. An organization is formed when a group of persons come together to achieve a goal which as an individual alone cannot be able to achieve. That is to say, the primary reason why you play politics is because of the fact that you want your party to win an elections, and at the end, after all you work, you will be given opportunity to serve. I want to tell you a particular thing. You have every type of human being in a political structure.
Yes.
You have technocrats, you have intelligent people. In fact, there is an informal sector of the local economy that requires the services of a laborer. Let me tell you, a big man cannot dig the grave of a big man. You need the services of a poor man to dig a grave of a big man who dies. So everybody in this contest is relevant. Whether we like it or not, this is separate from Ikpoba-Okha politics. Let's tell ourselves the truth. I said something about the management of people. I, for one, let me use myself as a classical example. If I openly tell you that I'm happy with the administration, I'm lying. But you cannot crucify me for the actions of the next man. So that is why we are vehemently resisting anybody trying to crucify Barrister Oge, because his leadership is very clear and he has been able to deliver immensely to satisfy the interest of the people. Now, look at the management of humans in terms of this administration. I want to use myself as a classical example. I said it before now. In these last elections, till now as we speak, my eyes is not okay.
I remember that time.
You are aware?
Yes, almost blindly.
Before the elections, the security, after alleging me wrongly, they spent over 3 hours in my house trying to bring out something. Do you know what they said? At the end of the day, the agency said, the security agency said, do not vote for APC. At the end, after the elections again, I find myself in the cell. Because of what? Ensuring that our party wins.
Because the interest of the party.
To avoid rigging of the election. Because our member, who is supposed to monitor one particular result, have already been drugged. And they want to take that result into the collation center. We call on the attention of the security agency. Look at what is happening here. Because of the political manipulations, it was allowed.
Are you going personal right now?
No, I'm giving you.
Are you going personal?
I was speaking as a party man. I'm an APC man, a member of your progressive congress that you know. I am speaking as a party man. No matter how you know about party, you cannot feel it the way we are feeling it. We are the one wearing the shoes. At the end of the day, we will not let jettison from the system. The entire different nomenclature. Thieves. They want me to share EDO money. Now, there are ways you satisfy the interest of party faithful. Nobody is saying give me free money.
No.
Have you initiated any board or any board in this government?
But the
Or do you think I am not qualified to be a governor when it comes to issue of qualification and competence? Everybody cannot go there at the time. That is why we all agree to so let this man go. You are there now. You jettison the system. Look at what the governor said in the podium while they were protesting. He said, those of you who are in Abuja, coming from this time, we are waiting for you. Then just few days ago, Oshomole released a statement about the grievances he had with government, stating, talking, emphatically deliberating on the central hospital. Instead of us to get a response from the governor, they have directed all members not to speak. No, we want to hear.
Because it's marching the way of peace. He said he wants peace.
Yes, listen.
Yes, he wants peace. That's the word peace.
Yes. We believe in something. If you fail to kill the problem from the taproot and you are repelling it from the top, it's just a superficial embellishment. The problem will remain. Let us discuss about the core reasons why these challenges are there.
All right.
Let me submit. I want to submit.
All right, submit.
So the point here is very simple. Some persons have been made to become a political sacred cow because members of the All Progressive Congress, majority of them, are no longer happy.
Oh, yes.
So the people like the likes of Mr. Sadogi and the rest have become a sacrificial lamb. Because
you said it all, brother.
They stood firmly to defend the collective interest of the administration. Now, in terms of economic policy, I will not lie to you. I will not say that the government is not performing. Separate performance from party issue. That is why this issue is not an EDO issue. It is crisis within the All Progressive Congress.
All right.
But because of the fact that we are managing a EDO affair, it now trickles for EDO people.
Okay.
Let the government, let the government
please
do the right thing. Manage the people. Call everybody together. Because after working, you call me a thief, I will not be happy with you.
All right, Stan, I'll come back to you. It's like the feelings and the emotions are beginning to come out gradually, but gently, like I used to say, you have to watch your emotions. Do you see this snowballing into other local governments?
Well, you know, definitely it's going to, but tell me, say something that Barrister said, that when you are not happy with the situation, you write to the governor or you go to the court. Yeah. But one thing I'm happy about is that there were statements from the governor yesterday applauding the judiciary, you know, because he was victorious to say that, you know, there will not be a second proclamation in the House of Assembly again. So I also want to thank him for that, for believing in the judiciary, because I have approached the court myself for various issues. I approached the courts asking the governor to explain to us how he borrowed over 100 billion. Because governance is continuous. I'm also, you know, expecting his response on that. I'm only saying because of what the barrister said. So some of us have really taken steps. Some of us have also taken steps to also ask him to publish the names of the contractor. If the contract were duly advertised, how much were the contract advertised for, and were those ones who bid for the contract, you know. That's why, again, I'm applauding him that he applauded the judiciary, because a time will come to that I will also be asking the same question. And having said that too, you know, he also talked about the Waterstone project, you know. And again, I'm also going to court again to ask various questions, because I also know that His Excellency was part of Adams Oshomole's administration, and it's has come to my notice now that at the time he was the economic team manager, he was also the one who spearheaded the Waterstone negotiation. As a matter of fact, they were asking for 31 billion to borrow because we didn't have the equity to borrow such money. 25 billion were given to them. And I also understand today, I'm saying, I understand because he's a lawyer, that his company was used as a front, which is against it, because you cannot be a part of government and also your company to do consultations for the state and get about 1.something billion. So you got to explain to us as a senior federal state. But I must say that I'm going somewhere with this, please, okay? I'm going somewhere because of what as I said, has been on this front line for a very long time. I remember when Adams was here, we were part of the people who protested when EDO house was going to be sold, and by the grace of God, we stopped him from selling it. You know, we've tried a lot of things, and you know, we're still trying, you know, until we get it right. Let me also say clearly, you cannot have a state that cannot give board appointment to its members, okay? Why do you, I'm not saying that you must benefit if you vote, but if you are a party member, you work for a party, there are ways that the government can create an opportunity for his loyalists to benefit directly or indirectly, and creating boards are part of it. I also know that boards have been created in the past that some people did not do very well with it, some people enrich themselves with it, but that doesn't mean that it had to stop. It had to be a continuous, okay? And also, you're also saying that you don't trust the citizens of Edo State to do contract, and that's the reason why you opted out to Lagos or you opted out to Delta to get some contractors to do the job. But today we are saying that the job is not being done right. That is one point. And secondly, you've also said that the internal generation fund have climbed to about 2.7 billion. So who is paying it? We as citizens are paying those taxes. So if everybody has to benefit from the job, we also have to benefit from the job. So it's ironic if you are expecting a job and expecting us as citizens to pay the taxes. So a lot of things are not right, and that's why the party members are very aggrieved with him. That's why they don't happen, and that's why most of the tension have been given to Barrister Osadioge, because he's the engine room of this party. Everybody know that, okay? And also, let me also say that because the opposition today are not very, very organized. If the opposition today is organized, I can assure you that if you conduct an election tomorrow, that PDP will win APC on a landslide.
All right, PDP winning APC will come to that because of this squabble on the ground. Do you see snowballing to other local government? Do you see Ikpoba-Okha as an acid test which others will want to emulate?
Well, Wilson, I have a feeling. If the feeling will come to pass, I don't know. But I have a feeling that Ikpoba-Okha is just the beginning of this crisis in local government. Because even in Oredo, as we speak, I know there are a lot of people who are also very well not happy with the leadership of Oredo politics, as we speak. Many feel that the politics of Oredo has become stagnant. It is not moving forward, it's not coming backward. I don't want to use the wrong word the people use in the street, but it is a classical word of a puppet ruling us in Oredo here. So if the leadership of Oredo is also not be satisfied with, don't be surprised when you see some of other leaders who are also not comfortable with this stagnation. I understand this lack of further development, further movement in the local government, to start bringing up their own mindset to say we need a change in the leadership. Don't be surprised if it happens in Ego, in any other places. It can happen before the 2020 election, because I believe before the Congress, which is coming up, there will be a lot of shaking over of leaderships in different local governments in Edo State. Some might be done very quietly, some might go in a crisis form, but definitely there will be a shake in different local government. Because what is going on right now in all over the local government, in Edo State as well, as long as the issue is on ground, the government has not been able to settle it in the aspect of believing in the 2020 issue as first forerunner of second tenure. He should start settling the issue on ground. Whether it's with the House of Assembly issue, he should find a solution to it, to bring all of them together. Whether it's the issue of leadership, he should call them together and try to manage the people, try to make the people have a sense of belonging in the government. Let them play their own knowledgeable impactations. I do understand, in this government. It is just like people that have ideas, they have visions, and they came together to say, okay, this is a man, he is full of visions. Let's add our visions and make this Edo State great. And now, you now focus on your vision alone. And you now forget the visions of others. Don't forget, where the elders sit on their seat, if you climb a tree, you will never see it. He is still a baby in the Edo politics.
Hold on now, Samuel.
I'm sorry.
You have to please.
I'm sorry. I will draw the statement.
All right.
You don't know what I mean with it. He's still very young. He's an infant in Edo politics.
Many people will react negatively to what you just said.
He's an infant in Edo politics. Let's talk to be sincere with ourselves. He has never played politics before. He has never played politics. Let us be sincere with ourselves. I'm not here to insult anybody. I'm trying to give him an advice. Whatever I say is an advice. If he wishes to take, he takes. If he wishes to see an offense, it is left for him to decide. It's my personal opinion. It's not the opinion of anybody here. He is an infant in the politics. All right, he has never played politics before.
Samuel,
and now you listen to me. Let me talk.
Getting the better part of you. Let me talk. Like, calm me right now. Sam,
let me talk.
Your emotions.
Okay. The issue I'm going is this. Yes. You have leaders. They are well experienced. They are well experienced in this politics. You need them to succeed. You need them to achieve everything you want to achieve in politics. No matter how you call them, no matter what names you will call them, no matter how you neglect them, when the time comes very soon, these same leaders, he should not forget, they were the one he sent to those villages to talk to the kings, to talk to the Nigis, to talk to the elders, to talk to the Odionways, to be with him, because they never knew him.
All right.
They never knew him.
I'll come back to you, Sam.
So he needs to start building his own experience.
All right. I will come back.
In politics, if he wants to come back for a second tenure. And the only way he can build that experience is by listening to the leaders, listening to his followers, and trying to bring them together and make a reconciliation. The quicker, the better.
All right, thank you, Sam. Well, whatever they say here is their opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV. We're doing our best possible to make sure they follow the rules and regulations governing the airwaves. Is it going to be a tsunami? The same question I want to put forward to you, Barrister.
When you are asking the question that which answer is already blowing in the wind, when we begin to ask, don't you even know? Are you telling me you are not aware?
We don't want to with assumptions.
That's just an aside.
Yeah.
What we are pretending not to know, that I believe we all know, we all should have known by now, is that what you call there is what we call sleeping cells. Sleeping cells. Waiting to be activated or to have opportunity to function. There is already a web. Once there is polarization of political interests and agenda in any political system, you have you have against. The former government fashion in the APC arrangement is not a thing you can pretend to ignore that it doesn't exist. They are there. He is a loyalist. Then the sitting governor, the incumbent governor, those who have sympathy for him and own allegiance to him are the new leader of the party. The jaw and I wouldn't say de facto, because there is one between de jure and de facto. One is claiming de facto leadership. That's the problem. The former governor is claiming to de facto leadership of the party. He still himself the leader of the party even when he's out of power as the governor of the state. Then the de jure leader, the one that is by law known to be the leader of the party, is being viewed by the pro-Shomole loyalists as somebody who should take instruction from the de facto leader. This is the basic political issue that is there, that people are pretending not to say the way it is. You can dance around it, but that's basically the issue. It is basically of the concept of godfatherism. Godfatherism. Nobody can wish it away. Some people believe that the former governor is a godfather whose words must be law and must be binding. Even it should bind the governor, the incumbent governor. And the governor and his lawyers are saying, no, that is not the rule. That is not the standard. While you were there as a governor, nobody lorded it over you. So you cannot now change the standard. What you confirm while you were there cannot now be accepted by us that you taught to forbid it. You can't give out the forbidden fruit. You said godfatherism is a taboo. You cannot now turn around and say godfatherism is now a beautiful bride. Let me tell you, the sleeping cell I talked about, the Oshomole fashion, loyalists within the structure across the states. I don't belong to APC, but I said I'm a political stakeholder. I know what's going on even in the Kowa and the Abga, anywhere in the country, not just in those states. So that is basically going to happen. They are waiting for the right time to be activated by the benefactor who is waiting in the wings. And he's throwing some little chairs into the game, touching some buttons. Ikpoba-Okha is a test run to see how it will work. It's a guinea pig experiment. If Ikpoba-Okha works, then let's replicate it. Let's activate all our sleeping cells so that we know if we can settle this governor and his fashion. He's a loyalist. The problem is that there is going to be a counter move, like in every chess game. It's not going to go one way.
Definitely.
The governor and his loyalists are going to fight back ferociously. They are going to try to neutralize these sleeping cells that are being awoken. And that is when the real battle royal will commence prior to the 2020 election. We are in for a long drawn battle.
Long drawn battle.
Yes.
Stand.
In politics, what is permanent is interest. There is no permanent enemy or permanent friend.
At all.
I want to talk about political leadership. Understand it clearly. It's purely different from party executives.
Yeah.
A leader does not have an ID card. He doesn't have an appointment to say you are now the leader. No. It is at the discretion of the sitting government to recognize a leader in a change local government.
Yes.
Let us understand the political situation before we rush into conclusion. When the Oshomole administration elapsed in Edo State, he was vying for the position of the national chairman. It was the sitting governor that called Oshomole to say, please, I am not a politician. You remain the leader of the party. While I face governance. And as a leader of the party in the state or progressive Congress, there is need for the SY governor to at the time call on the sitting governor, this is how our party is supposed to go.
To function.
And as we speak, Oshomole has stated categorically clear in different forums that I have never by any way intervened in this government.
And you verily believe him?
Yes.
Let me stop, please.
And you believe, yes. And you believe, yes.
I listen, Oshomole made a statement.
Yes.
I am understand you as well. I have no right whatsoever to counter it.
Okay.
The statement was directed to somebody.
Okay.
If the statement is not true, it is the responsibility of the next person
So we have to respond back.
It's not true.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
That is one. And secondly, again, because I just decided to enumerate this thing one after the other. The former governor said it. And we talked about the issue of loyalty to Adams Aliyu Oshomole. That you have this one as their fashion. The reason why the former will have little power or followers is because of the fact that he has a strategy to manage people that this particular one has not been able to achieve. If this can manage people, believe you me, they say, Oba Rekete Aga.
Yes.
If you can manage people, people will tell this way, oh God, you did well.
Don't go.
Give him chance.
Give him a chance, bro.
So let's just look at it from the angle of managing the party properly. The truth of the matter is very clear. People Democratic Party cannot win Edo State, no matter what, regardless of the crisis. But I want to tell you something. The People Democratic Party you see today, they will say, hey, they are playing the good role of the opposition. They might know that yes, this governor has decided to relegate his political party, let us be praising him, so that at the end of the day, we will destroy the APC. That is their right. Because every political party wants to get into power.
But since they defend themselves, they just seek your right. They seek your witness. Yes.
See, it is the legal role of an opposition party. No matter what you do as a sitting government, you need an opposition to check your legs so that you perform more. So, in that regard, let us really look at the management of people. Go to every other local government that you are saying. There are different persons that are agreed. The only panacea to manage people is the ability to listen. That is why you said, okay, the engine room of this is because of the fact that he listens.
Listens,
Till now, I'm telling the truth. When it comes to the issue of Ikpoba-Okha, don't even bother to go there. They can't unseat Oge in that place.
But it's happening because right now they have a factional leader.
I'm coming now.
Anyway, Stan, you just hold on. When we return, they'll use 1 minute each to summarize after this break. Just stay with us.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Respect you too.
All right, we're all wishing the Isama a happy 85th birthday celebration. Like what the princess said, he's generous, he's kind. Really, he is. Happy birthday, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Sari Benejo. Now, for today, we're taking a look at the fragmentation of Edo APC. Ikpoba-Okha, Debacle. Analysts, they've been throwing more light on this. They're going to use a minute each to summarize their point. Is it going to be a tsunami, or what should the governor do to really curb this, because it's getting to a crescendo, so to speak? Let me start from you, Stan. You have 1 minute to summarize.
Very firstly, what I think is this. It is the responsibility of the city government to call everyone together. And it is the responsibility of the sitting government to call on the national chairman of the Green Party or Progressive Congress. For them all, including myself, because as we speak, I want to tell you, yes, I am not in any fashion. The way I am aggrieved, the same way other party faithful are aggrieved, because of the fact that we all have same ideology, so we might agree. But I'm not a boy to anybody. I deserve to benefit from the party. I desire to hold positions in the party within my capacity. I should not be giving what I cannot do. But stricto sensu told me rules that can address the problem that we are facing right now. The onus lies on the government. Ask the executive officer of the state. You gave the national chairman the right to say you should be the leader of the party in the state. If you want to take it back wisely and call him. Call every other party. Let's negotiate. This crisis will everything is in control of our. No matter how stubborn anybody will be, they have every person that will call them to order. We all can be called to order. Yes. Let us sit and negotiate. All
right, thank you so much, Stan, for your submission. Barrister Matthew.
Yes, it is not a simplistic thing for crisis to be resolved in a prototype manner.
Prototype manner?
Yes. Every leadership has its own model, policy. Oshomole model is not actually going to be a Baseki's model. So any attempt to say it's not like Oshomole, it does not add up. If a king comes, he comes with his own ideology, his own vision. And you see, the other vision knows how to manage it. The model of managing that vision belongs to him. He adopted the right model. So I think Baseki's attempt to key into the vision of his predecessor will alienate him from his own loyalists who are with him now. And if he wants to lose loyalists to get those who are opposed to him, I wish him good luck. What he needs to do is to make sure those who are opposed to his vision keys into his vision.
You're right.
Not himself key into an outside vision. Sure. That will make him lose focus.
All right.
I advise him to diplomatically approach them, to whip them into line. Let them key into his vision. He's the person in charge.
Diplomacy right now.
Yes.
All right. Stan talked about settlement. You talked about diplomacy. And of course, Samuel, what's your own angle? 1 minute, summarize.
Well, listen, my point of view has been very, very clear. I have to remain very, very clear. Just like what my brother said, I don't belong to any fraction. I don't believe in these or days. What I believe is the right thing should be done. And what do we mean, the right thing to be done? It keeps saying the same thing we're going to tell the government. If he wants to listen, he should listen. He should call the people together. He should call the aggrieved together. He should avoid antagonization. He should come up now with a policy on how to carry the people, his party people along. Whether he likes it or not, he must do it. If he doesn't do it, that means in the recess, he's really not interested in the second tenure. Because these same people, you must need them. At the end, whether you like it or not, you must need them. So, what to do that? And the best way to manage party faithful and party followers still remain for him to wake up. It is never too late to create the boards and committees. Why? Because those boards, like my colleague was saying, that they are old men there, they will be there, they don't want to live there. No, don't look it that way. If I am a board member,
Yeah.
I have followers.
All right.
Automatically through the board, I carry my followers.
Thank you.
So there's so many ways you can be able to manage these people. Without you directly, not even managing them.
All right, talking about management. Thank you so much, Samuel. Thank
You
you.
can do it.
Thank you.
need to
Patron
do it.
Patrick, you have 1 minute, sir, to summarize.
Well, you know, I think in my own summarization is very clear. I think we've defined it already that the government doesn't have the ability to manage people rightly.
That is your own opinion.
That's what I'm saying, okay? But there are others in the party who are grassrooted, who you know, politicians, really hardcore politicians, you know. I think the likes of, I'm talking about Ikpoba-Okha, of Osarobo, who is a very strong party loyalist and faithful. They say the young shall grow. The likes of Victor Ekato, who has been committed to APC. I think the life of Bishop, Edopolo Ayamehoe, I think the SSG should call all of them together for a roundtable, for discussion, for a settlement. And mostly, again, very importantly, I'm more concerned about the House of Assembly member who are going to be sworn in. I mean, they own the state. Let it come together, let them swear them in, and also very clearly, let the governor address the people over what Comrade Adams Aliushimo said about the central hospital. Because there been counter allegation. He said, I did 75%. He said we should ask Obaseki to explain to us why the hospital is not functioning.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. Well, viewers out there, whatever they say here is their own opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV Radio. They're expressing themselves, but to do our best possible to make sure they follow the rules and regulations governing the airwaves. Yes, fragmentation of Edo APC, Ikpoba-Okha debacle. Is it going to be a tsunami, or there'll be some ways to manage this crisis from escalating? Because together we stand, divided, you know the rest, we crash. Some people will be here tomorrow to continue with this edition of This Morning on ITV. From all of us here in the studio, we are saying have a wonderful Sunday. Bye for now.